What are your thoughts on musicality versus rhythm?
Oh,
because I've heard it explained through other people who are dancers and not musicians or producers, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious what your views are.
Seems weird. So like musicality, and I could be wrong, so fact check me, but musicality by definition refers to, well, like more of a formal definition, refers to like the sensitivity in music. So a lot of the times I think that definition is crafted around like if you're a drummer and you're playing in a band and the leader of the band is like motioning in their expression that we're about to come to a turnaround in the song, and you as the drummer don't pick up on that motion, you would be lacking in musicality. Or for example, the person playing, we'll use the drummer again. The person playing the drums is playing with a bass guitar and a singer, and the singer is singing sultry stuff, and the drummer's like, bah, like just slant. Sorry if I blew out the mic. I apologize.
You're good. You have to limit it.
Okay, good. Well, it's going to sound flat. So anyways, they smash the fuck out of the drums while this person is like in this serenade of sultriness. Like you might say that drummer is lacking musicality because they're not playing to what the sensitivity in that. Or, you know, in a more complex setting where you have like this improvised jazz and it's like musicians tossing ideas around to each other and they all kind of have to support one while one plays. Then that person tosses the idea to another instrument and then they support that. Like to be able to pick up and pass off that musical conversation, they would consider how good you are at that. That would determine like your level of musicality. So it's like how attentive and how capable you are of like listening, performing, and how you can comprehend that music. That's musicality from what I understand of like more of a clinical sense. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So if we try to translate that to dance, it's to me it's like no fucking different. Like if a song's like with somebody going and you're over there fucking like T-flare, handspin, backflip, throw a cock, you know, like there's no musicality in that because there's no sensitivity to the expression of the music. And further to that, if that same kind of mood is playing and you are more like doing some movement or whatever, and all of a sudden there's this conversation that's happening in the music and you can anticipate this turnaround's going to happen where it's like, and then you're back into something else. Like if you can anticipate that and you don't know that that's coming because you're sensitive to what the music is, how the music is being played and what's being said, and you're able to interact with that in real time. And it feels like what is heard, whether it's the energy or the volume or the sound itself or the rhythm of the sound or whatever, like that's musicality. It's no different for a dancer than it would be for someone playing an instrument. You're just dancing, which means like you're maybe not necessarily contributing back in, especially in like the Western context of music. Other cultures, it's completely different. But like, you know, when you're talking about like modern day American, like Western culture of like somebody freestyling, you know, like that's the way I look at it. And it's like, if you're trying to compare that to rhythm, it's like, I don't even see the comparison because rhythm is a construct within music, right? So it's like musicality rhythm is musicality encompasses rhythm, right? Rhythm's a part of that. Just like tempo, just like melody, just like harmony, just like dynamics, just like timbre, you know, all these things, like it's composition, like all these things, like that's all a part of that. So rhythm is just another component of it.
Great explanation, man. I love all what you said there. It's very different. I don't recall the video from a few years ago. I think it was by this popper name is Popula.
Mm-hmm.
But it brought up the idea of like there's a difference between the two, or when someone's doing one but not the other, or having musicality but not rhythm, or only rhythm and not musicality. Yeah,
I mean, I could agree with that statement for sure. Yeah, and it's hard because like when I've heard, so it was like I don't know, 2010, 12ish, when like musical discussions in dance became a little bit more prevalent, like trying to use theory in dance, like for these like vernacular dances, club dances, street dances, whatever, modern, like this contemporary stuff. Like those discussions, like, me trying to, so as I'm like studying music, it's not like I'm fucking my theory's not incredible, like for music, not at all. It's like very juvenile. But like for a dancer, it's extremely advanced for sure. Which is weird because there's like such a gap, like my theory compared to like a fucking real, some super studied jazz musician. It's like such a gap. But here's the thing is like theory, just like with dance, like theory doesn't make anything better. It can help a lot, but I would argue that there's a lot of musicians that the theory hinders them,
Yeah, like going back to the food analogy, you could be a chef that knows nutritionally what's in this food, but the dish can turn out tasting like crap regardless.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. I will never say you don't need something. If there's something to be learned, you should learn it.